Started. The issues of subsidies, agriculture, marketing, and trade, which affect farmers, will have direct impact on the women by increasing or decreasing the income of the rural household. It is therefore important that there should be safeguards to protect the women from getting affected by the impact of these global imperatives. Women participation in political, economic, and social decision making process is absolutely critical for their empowerment and systematic influence on policy outcomes. Needless to say, we have enacted progressive legislations and introduced programs and schematic interventions to facilitate progress towards the goals of greater equality and women's education, empowerment. Our parliament has enacted enabling legislations to provide safe environment for women to work and live and fulfill their potential with a view to encouraging women participation in decision making at various levels. Provision for at least one woman director has been included in the new Companies Act 2013. As per this act, every listed company and every other public company having paid up share capital of rupees 100 crore or more, or having turnover of rupees 300 crore or more, is required to appoint at least one woman director. Non-compliance with this rule has been made punishable. To empower women, we have reserved 33% seats for them in local governance to facilitate and strengthen their position in decision making. Encouraged by this, some of our states have raised the reservation level to 50% for wider participation by them. About 1.3 million women at the local governance level have been brought into the local decision making mainstream, thereby ensuring direct flow of development finance. Friends, speakers of parliament and especially the women speakers have a major role to ensure that gender dimension is highlighted in local and international issues as well as in all aspects of the parliamentary work. The women speakers of parliament can take a lead for stabilizing gender sensitive sustainable goals for the world. They can ensure that more and more women participate in parliamentary committees for a and groups and help place them in positions of effective leadership in all parliamentary structures. The women speakers can also support the cause by allocating more time to debates on gender equality issues in Parliament by setting up specialized committees on gender and through empowerment, gender or women's causes, and gender units in Parliament. Being the speakers, they can bring a change in the working environment in Parliament by ensuring that internal policies of Parliament are reviewed from a gender perspective. The women chairpersons of the parliamentary committees and women members of parliaments have an important role towards gender empowerment and equality. There is no denying the fact that the battle for gender equality has to be fought at the level of minds. Only when a particular mindset of men as well as women is changed to view woman as an equal human being and a partner in all activities will this fight be over. In this direction, a new initiative that we have recently launched is Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, Save Girl, Child, Educate Girl, Child. Aiming at changing mindsets, this program addresses not only declining child sex ratio but also discrimination against women in a life cycle continue. In conclusion, I must say that there should be growing understanding that it is not enough to have the right policies and system to fix the gender gap and promote gender parity. For real impact, it is crucial to identify and transform the deeply entrenched mindsets and behavior pattern that obstructs the change. With these words, I hope that the deliberations and exchange of experience in this meeting will go a long way in further innovating for gender equality. Ladies and gentlemen, the threat of climate change is real and immediate. It concerns the whole world as its ill effects are all pervasive. Developing economies are more vulnerable to climate change as these economies are closely tied to climate sensitive sectors like agriculture and forestry. As a developing country with shared concerns on climate vulnerability, India has a vital stake in an equitable and multilateral approach towards climate change. India is home to almost 18% of the world's population. However, we possess only 4% of the world's renewable water resources. Our energy consumption constitutes 6% of the global energy consumption. Resource constraints notwithstanding, we have worked hard to become the fastest growing economy amongst the major economies of the world. We have the capacity to cloak sustained high growth, but growth is dependent on resource availability, especially energy. Factors such as demography, development, and urbanization exert tremendous pressure on availability of resources. Large scale utilization of resources leads to their depletion and also impacts adversely on the environment. This results in reduced availability of resources for future growth, putting a question mark on the sustainable development of an economy. We need to follow a twin track approach of limiting the rise of climate change while ensuring the existence of sufficient resources to meet our future developmental requirements. This objective mandates the efficient use of Earth's natural resources. We should aim at creating a society that is prosperous but not wasteful. We should make use of our abundant renewable sources to create a society that is self sustaining and mindful of its responsibilities towards the present and future generations. Our society must learn to exercise restraint in consumption while continuing to use resources in moderation. In this regard, I am reminded of these words of Mahatma Gandhi, who once observed, and I quote, "The earth provides enough for everyone's needs, but not for every man's greed."